Rabbis say that the Messiah is here, about to be revealed, and that the Ukraine war is his sign. Two prominent Israeli rabbis have announced that the Jewish Messiah, not Jesus, but the Jewish Messiah is here on the earth and about to reveal himself. Rabbi Yaakov Zitzholtz told Radio 2000 that Rabbi Chaim Kavinsky, who passed away earlier this year, had told him that Kavinsky was already in direct contact with the Messiah and that the Messiah is ready to reveal himself to the world. And since then, more rabbis have come out and confirmed that they too have spoken to this Messiah. Religious Jews are taking this very seriously, primarily because Rabbi Chaim Kavinsky was considered one of the 2 or 3 top rabbis in the ultra-Orthodox Jewish community in Israel. His funeral in the spring of 2022 drew over 1 million people. The streets were absolutely filled with people. This means he was probably a bigger deal there than Billy Graham was here to Christians. What does this mean for Christians, and what kind of events might happen next? You are going to be surprised how significant these could be. And that's what we're going to discuss in this video. First, Christians already know that the Messiah of Israel has already come 2,000 years ago in the person of Jesus, or Yeshua. He died for the sins of the world on a Roman cross, rose from the dead, and is coming back. This is how he said he would return. For as lightning that comes from the east is visible even in the west, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. Matthew 24:27. When Jesus returns to earth, everyone will see him coming on the clouds in the Shekinah glory of his Father, as bright as lightning. Any so-called Messiah who doesn't come in that way is a false Messiah. It's one of the most important signs in the Bible. And there will be false messiahs coming. Jesus also said this, therefore, if they say to you, look, he's in the desert, do not go out, or look, he's in the inner rooms, do not believe it. Matthew 24:26. Jesus is clear that false messiahs are coming, and not just one Messiah. Not just one false Messiah, not just a Jewish false Messiah, perhaps. And Jesus answered and said to them, take heed that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah, and will deceive many. Matthew 24:4-5. Jesus said many. And he also said, for false Christs, plural, and false prophets, plural, will rise and show great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. Matthew 24:24. Again, notice that both are plural. There will be multiple false Christs, and they're going to do amazing signs and wonders. So the first takeaway for Christians is that we shouldn't be surprised to see a false Messiah. It is the very first sign in what Jesus called the beginning of birth pangs period, the period prior to the Great Tribulation. In fact, we should expect to see several. Maybe a Jewish Messiah, maybe 2, maybe an Islamic Messiah, maybe 2 of them as well. Just as we saw, Jesus spoke about false messiahs a lot in the Olivet Discourse, his teaching on end times, so we should expect to see a couple of them. The second main takeaway is that if this Jewish Messiah is revealed, it doesn't make him the Antichrist. There are going to be multiple false messiahs, and only one will be the Antichrist. The temptation for Christians is to jump off the handle and think that this is the man of sin. Even if this guy announces himself, we shouldn't immediately think he's the Antichrist. That's a huge takeaway. I want everybody to think about that for a moment. Now, how long has Rabbi Kavinsky been talking about seeing the Messiah? When we say that, and say that a guy is talking to the Messiah, it makes him seem like a nutcase. But it should be noted that this rabbi was a mainstream Torah scholar and never made any public statements predicting the arrival of the Messiah throughout his whole career. That changed in 2015 when he was already 87. Rabbi Kavinsky declared the Messiah was imminent at that point. Since that declaration, he's made like countless other comments, and articles have been found on the internet, 2016, 2020, etc. And just days before his death this year, when the Ukraine war was beginning, he said it was a sign of a soon coming of the Messiah. This was the first time he had indicated a sign of the Messiah's return. Okay, so Israel's most revered rabbi claimed to have met and talked to their Messiah, which we know will be a false Messiah. And now that rabbi has passed on. So what can we expect next? Either a false Messiah will present himself or he won't. And if he is going to do it, it's likely going to happen within the next year, 2022 to 2023. Why? Because this is one of the years of the Messiah, as we described in this previous video. In the Talmud, which is a record of Jewish teachings, there is a prophecy, a Jewish prophecy, not a true prophecy, that their Messiah must come on the first year of a new 7-year cycle. And guess what? Jews believe that this last Feast of Trumpets marked the beginning of a new 7-year Hebraic cycle, what the Bible calls a Shabuah, or a week of years. And a lot of other crazy things are happening. Russia just called up 300,000 new soldiers, ferociously bombed Ukraine, declared a crisis and official war, and are threatening nuclear weapons.